Welcome to Digital Logic Design, EGS216 at North Shore Community College. I'm your instructor, Mary Beth Steigerwald, and this set of PowerPoint slides I'll go through briefly to help you understand the course structure. These slides and this video will also be found on Blackboard. So this is an introductory course to digital logic design and analysis, and it's intended for sophomores in electrical and computer engineering or computer science. So the topics that we will cover are outlined here as well as in the syllabus. So we'll cover these through a lecture class and through labs. We'll do a lot of labs, and these labs we'll do both by building circuits as well as using a Verilog HDL simulator. The required materials for this course are a textbook, which you can find in the library, and that electronic link to the library, you can also find that on Blackboard. There's a lab kit, which will be provided to you in lab, and we will use a free online simulator, Verilog, for our HDL, so you won't have to purchase any software. It's a hybrid course. This is key. This course structure hybrid, that means 50% of the lecture content is online, and that will be available to you as in the structure of a flipped classroom. So you'll be watching videos online to prepare for very active learning sessions in class. In class, we'll be doing problem solving to practice what you looked at for lecture content on videos, interacted with lecture content on videos online. So this is key. We're only using 52 hours of a required 108 hours of instruction, lab time, and online time. Only 52 of them are remaining in person. So you have to use those extra hours. You have to schedule so you're available outside of class to be able to do those. So prior to these face-to-face meetings, I say, class time will be virtual. So we'll be meeting over Zoom to do some in-class problem solving and discuss the warm-up material that you looked at or interacted with online. And then we'll, so that's what was this flipped classroom style. You're also going to be asked to, before class, to work with a discussion forum to help to get to know each other. You'll be discussing specific content as well as watching these videos. So that this course requirements prior to class, pre-class, lecture videos, textbook reading will be assigned, and then a discussion forum and the concepts of questions you're going to be interacting with before class. You can also, for extra credit, upload your one-page summarized notes from watching the video content. In class will be team-based problem solving to help understand the week's content, and then post-class you'll be working on further problem solving. It is encouraged, of course, in class it's going to be teamwork that you're working together. I encourage you to work on your homework together, but each student must submit their own homework in their own handwriting, and that's your chance to really practice, so when we get to the exam, you're going to be able to solve those exam problems. In lab, you're going to have the lab experiments. You can work in a notebook, and then there'll be reports that you have to submit. On Blackboard, this is the course menu. The course menu for you to access the content. So the module learning content is here. The lab content is here. Although the labs themselves, you're going to also use your textbook to read over the lab requirements as well as what's in these lab folders. So this is where all the learning content is. Weekly guided activities, that activity guide here, this is where this is going to follow the syllabus unless something goes wrong. And then you're going to have to click on this. I recommend you look at this every week or multiple times per week. Your weekly discussion you'll find here. The preview notes that you can submit weekly you'll find here. These are submission areas. And then the teamwork you'll be able to access here for each week. Where you're going to submit your homework you'll access here. The homework itself you're going to find up in the learning module guides, but where you can submit it is right here. Lab reports you're going to submit here. Where you're going to find more information on the labs is up in here. And so the start here in course information, when you first log into Blackboard, that's where you're going to want to look at to get more information about this course. course, the course structure, and this video, as well as these PowerPoint slides, will be under this Start Here folder. So again, announcements, that's, the home page for Blackboard, and that'll help, clarify, remind you what it is we're doing. I will also send any announcements that I put onto Blackboard into your North Shore email. Start Here menu, that's where you're also going to find your Zoom link to the remote class. So that our first class session will be a lab where we'll meet at school. The next week on Monday, we'll be meeting over Zoom. So this is where you're going to want to go. This is also where you can get your electronic link to the course book. That's under the Start Here menu button. Course information button, that's where my office hour link is. I also do have office hours at school on Tuesdays. And you can find out when all my office hours are in both either my instructor schedule and in the course syllabus. So the course syllabus, you can get to that through this course information menu item. Guidelines are key. I'm encouraging you to go over the guidelines before the start of class. What's expected from each of the assessed contents. There's also sample tests here, and the solutions to the tests will be put into this folder. So there's sample tests that you can access, as well as there's your academic and technical support here. So again, the weekly activities I discussed, you're going to look through that each week. The module learning content will have notes and slides for each module. The videos that you're going to interact with before class, you'll find them under the module content for the specific module we're working on that week. And then the homework and homework help, there'll be a folder for that, and any additional material folder. The labs themselves are coming from the textbook. So each of the labs are documented in the textbook exactly what you need to do, but additionally there's going to be notes for each lab experiment. So you want to read the textbook description for the lab, as well as go into the notes folder, and there's a grading sheet there, as well as typically a template that you can use to document your report. Additionally, in this folder you'll find the lab guidelines and our introductory lab here. This is not in the textbook, this is just what we'll do the first day in lab, and this is also part of the email. This is emailed to you. Again, a weekly discussion you're going to want to interact with each week. Preview note submission, you have the option to do this each week for extra credit. Weekly teamwork, in this folder you'll find the teamwork problems themselves. After we do the teamwork, the next day you'll be able to go in and find the solutions. So this is a good place to see problems and how your instructor thinks you should be solving these problems. So from an assessment perspective, I'll be following the guidelines so you'll know how you should document your homeworks and your exam problems. There's also in here a submission box for you to submit your teamworks. The reason you need to do that is because our in-class sessions are remote, so you'll have to write things out nicely, scan them, typically with your phone or if you have a scanner, and then submit them to this submission box. Homework submission, same idea. There'll be homework problems. You'll write them out neatly by hand, follow the homework guidelines, and scan your work to one PDF for submission. And then you'll get you'll get feedback on both your teamwork and your homework submissions from your instructor. And again, lab report submission box is there as well. Lab reports, again, you're given a Google Doc template. You can submit the Google Doc, or you can convert it to a PDF to submit it. And then there's the tools, grades, and emails button. Succeeding in this course, preparing before each class. Don't think you're going to come to class and then afterwards watch the videos. That's just a bad process for you. If you watch the videos, interact with the videos, take notes on the videos, take those notes and consolidate them into one page and submit them to the submission box for extra credit. Not only will you get extra credit, but that's the best way for you to initially expose yourself to the content, so then we can actively work on these problems in class. That will make the homework much easier for you to solve. And then what you need to do is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Problem solving is key. It's key to engineering, and it's key to computer science. So practicing your problem solving is the only way to get good at it. So I'm going to emphasize again, practice, practice, practice. Work with your peers, work with your classmates, discuss the homework. That's why I encourage you to work together on the homework. It's not cheating for you to discuss the homework. You'll each be writing out your own homework. Don't just copy someone's homework, discuss it, work on it together. And prepare for the lab experiments. Although we have 3-hour labs, it's going to require you time to prepare ahead of time. And then actively engage in lab and enjoy it. You will run into problems in lab, and that's that's expected. Some people will run into problems earlier in the semester, some later in the semester. Some you'll say it wasn't my fault, it was the lab equipment's fault. It's that troubleshooting. What do you do when you run into problems? That's what we want. Do you want to work on that critical thinking? That's what we're really trying to practice while we're in lab. And take time to further study for the exams. Use the practice exams. In terms of how the grades are determined, 40% is exams, 30% is labs, and then the pre-class work, post-class work, and in-class work, that's all worth 10% of your grade. So pre-class is just the discussion post, so it does require you to watch the videos prior to that. And again, for extra credit, you can do the preview notes. Weekly checklist, what you should be doing each week. You will prepare for Friday to Sunday by reviewing last week's weekly activities and be sure you're keeping up. That's key. Are you keeping up? Review the upcoming week's weekly activities to plan for the week. Watch the video lectures, preview your textbook reading, and interact with the weekly discussion. That's going to get you prepared for Monday's class. Monday, actively participate in class and submit your teamwork at the end of the class. Then you're going to need to prepare for Wednesday's lab by doing a pre-lab. Perform the lab on Wednesday, submit your lab report before the following, on the following Tuesday or before the following week's lab. And then, then you got to practice what we did in Monday's class by doing the homework, and that homework will be due on Thursday. You'll submit that by 11:59 p.m. Communicating with me, email is the best way to communicate with me. I'll typically respond, unless I'm in class, I'll typically respond within a couple hours, but it says here I'll respond within the 24-hour time. Again, my office hours, on Monday it's just via Zoom, that's 10 to 11. Tuesdays, 11 to 1, I'll be in my office. I'll also be logged into Zoom. And then, on Thursdays, it's from 11 to 12. Thursdays, I'm not in school, so that's via Zoom. And again, if you email me, we can always set up another time to meet, either remotely or in person, depending upon where we both are. Okay, before the first day, what are you going to do? This is key. Probably should have done this first. You're going to use the Start Here guide, the Start Here video that's emailed to you, log into Blackboard, familiarize yourself. Go to the course information menu, download and save and review the syllabus. You're going to want that for when you transfer. Review the course guidelines in the guideline folder. And then go to the module learning menu. Module 0 is review on electricity concepts. It's not from the textbook content. So watch the videos there, video 1A. You look at the notes there. And then go to the Module 1 folder and watch videos 1A. And then go to the lab folders to the Introduction Lab. In the Introduction Lab, follow directions to prepare for our first lab on Wednesday. Whenever you have questions on this course, please contact me. Hopefully you can use your peers to help you out as needed. That's always a great resource when you can use each other, but sometimes you do need to go to the instructor just to verify. If you're having trouble with Blackboard or other technical problems, the school does offer support for that as well. So BB Help is the email for Blackboard help, and Help Desk is the email for other types of technical problems that you're having. So be aware of that. Just wrapping up, I'm really looking forward to a great semester. This class can be a lot of fun, and I hope that you're all ready to have some fun. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but all good fun comes after some good work. So I'll see you on Wednesday.